Welcome, welcome to Closing Ceremonies, everybody. Good job. So, how many of y'all are new to Ushicon? First year?
Hey!
Hopefully y'all had a great time. If you didn't, this is where you can bitch at us for it. We had a lot of great stuff that happened over the weekend. I hope you all enjoyed that. Wanted to just give a couple shout outs before I forget, because I'm running on 3 hours of sleep. So,
and that's the entire weekend.
3 hours for the whole week? No, just last week. And yeah, we won't go into the rest of the con.
3 hours and a bunch of stress.
Part of course. So a couple things that we did. We had a tabletop gaming. We actually had several donations from Steve Jackson Games. So if you played any of the Munchkins, all the Munchkin games came from them, and some other stuff. I forget what all was in there.
Zombie Dice, Castell, and
yeah.
other ones.
Yeah, some really great games actually. So they not loaned us, they gave us some games. That was pretty cool. Pro photography back there, guy taking pictures. Steak Steve. Dave from Tan Japan helped us out with a bunch of stuff, equipment. And Vitamin H. So, all right.
And our guests.
And our guests.
And David.
So, yeah. And I'm just going through my little checklist, and then we'll get to the rest of the, feedback stuff.
The prize someday.
Yeah, but he's not here yet.
The prize tentacles also came from Steve Jackson.
Oh, the prize tentacles. Yeah, so if anyone got any of the prize tentacles,
Yay!
the Giant Plush tentacles, those also came from Steve Jackson. So it was really weird to look in the group chat saying, all right, now I'm bringing this box of tentacles, and it's like, all right, I guess that we're doing that. So, and we do have already dates for next year. So if y'all are interested in coming back, we are going to be on the same weekend next year at this hotel. We're coming back again. And February 15 to 17. We'll put it on the website as soon as we get some sleep. So yeah. For anyone that wasn't at opening ceremonies, we all kind of went through and introduced ourselves. We have some people up here. Brandy Z, she was on registration. Everyone probably saw her because you had to go through registration to check in. I'm Brandy H, by the way, same spelling. I'm a conjure, can't talk. And then Lauren over there with Tabletop Gaming. Jimmy coordinating all of the events throughout the weekend. You, I know your name.
No, you don't! Go back to your hole,
We're going to stop till you get it.
Okay, he is not even remotely the newbie.
Okay, guys, don't let me.
My name is Clay. I run the video, dude.
He's also our lightning rod for criticism of pub trivia. So
Repeated the question.
Wasn't my fault this year.
It was all Greg's fault. And this is Greg. Greg's our founder.
Hey, we love the pub trivia.
Because you won.
Power team.
Winners are always happy.
equipment coordinator.
And then there's Mary over there.
No, yeah.
How not to be seen.
So this is basically our feedback session. Tell us what you like, what you didn't like, suggestions for next year, that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna open the floor up.
So now is your chance to say what you think. Yes, sir.
I wanted to give kind of a little bit of props to whoever our vendor was that had all the great snacks and munchies.
Kyoto Kitchen.
Well, and also the one that did in the vendor's room.
Yeah, that was Kyoto Kitchen.
Oh, okay, yeah. I actually bought a high shoe and left it on the counter and left and went back the next day and they're like, hey, you forgot this.
Aw.
And Keegan and Katie are also on our comm staff. They're not here because they are closing down the artist.
Katie's here. Katie's here.
Okay, well, she's lazy in the back while Keegan closes down the artist. Good job getting to do all the work.
And Damien, our volunteer coordinator. She's not here right now, but
She's been physically destroyed by the con.
it happens.
Because more volunteers. Yay. We need them.
Anyone else on my while we're on that?
All our other volunteers.
Yeah, all of our volunteers. Oh yeah, Eric with the arcade. They're already torn down.
They
had to leave a little bit early, but yeah, so Eric with our arcade back there, so. All right.
Good job. Yeah.
All right, I've been coming to Ushicon since 2014. I love it every goddamn year. But last year, one thing that really pissed me off was at closing ceremonies, my wife decided to embarrass me because it was 2 days before our anniversary.
Oh my God, are you
And now that we've been together for 10 years, I wanted to embarrass the shit out of you. This woman has been putting up with me for a decade.
The freaking Dragon Maid!
Seriously though, I love this Camelot. 10 years.
As we all know, 10 years is the manga anniversary.
That was a winning comment, yes.
Always.
Ouch.
Grab it.
Do you want to
Thanks
say
for having us.
something?
Thank you for having us.
I was comfy.
My exercise.
Any other comments, questions, criticisms?
Stuff we'll make sure we keep for next year.
Party and the pub trivia.
Do more A&Bs.
More AMVs. Okay.
I would like to see some sports that are ripped off of anime and gaming. Stuff like, I don't know, it's probably something small, like If the Pool's Heated, Inner Tube Tug of War.
It's not.
Cardboard sledding through the parking lot.
Probably a liability issue.
February.
Some years that's possible.
Yeah, the trouble.
Oh, yeah.
First year you could ice skate parking lot.
Or whatever happens with it. Just something, some sport or something that's pulled off the same night.
Waifu wrestling.
I totally wanted to do stuff with the pool, but yeah, it's not heated. I don't think that they allow me to live in the winter. It's really cold, but I could be wrong. We haven't really asked because yeah, most of the time temperatures are in like the 50s and 60s, and we're like we don't really want to swim in. So yeah.
Ushicon Polar Bear Club.
Okay.
Let's make Angel with it.
What races?
It's some really big floaties out there.
Yeah.
The history of magical girls panel was really interesting, I thought, and so I appreciated that.
Good.
Thank you.
I always down for more D&D, so.
Best of. That would get on the same thing if possible to run the game.
No, it's just gonna be the
Into the bowels of El Diablo.
Yes.
I think his name is Ted Wayne.
They're right there.
Oh, yeah.
What's up?
Hi. What?
Like when you did the quiz bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Practice that we did.
It's a personal passion of his, so he appreciates that you enjoy it.
I was gonna say, I did Quiz Bowl, which is fastest finger first, so that does count as an anime sport.
Quiz Bowl solidarity.
I almost dropped that show into the schedule after I saw you were running that panel.
And more from game show outfits. And I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Anime in that tune was quite fun as well.
Okay. Yeah, it seemed a lot of fun. I was only able to pop in and out, but yeah, it was entertaining when I was there.
And also the karaoke last night was fun.
Regarding the karaoke, I would like to bring up that it was fun until it got interrupted, and the staff did not really do a whole lot to remedy it.
we'll chat about that later. We've chatted about that and we'll talk about it. All right, so one thing I wanted to ask y'all real quick is tabletop gaming. Any specific feedback that y'all have for that? You know, I know we did a lot of the learn to play things. Is that something you're interested in? Do you want something different? You know,
It was like the really good experience, like the workers and stuff, having fun with like guests instead of playing like our food game community. We would like more of that.
more of the. what?
Cards Against Humanity.
Oh, well, that goes all weekend, so I mean, outside of all weekend.
Heck
Oh,
yeah.
Cards Against, yes, oh, I see.
Yeah, that's actually a lot free.
Yeah.
That was added your words.
Use your words, okay, cool.
And I think
Yeah.
To the point of Cards Against Humanity, I don't think I've seen a continuous Cards Against Humanity table at a convention before, and that was, I think, a really good idea. It is such a popular convention game, but I mean, it's much easier to start up that way, so I think that that's something that should definitely continue.
Oh, absolutely.
I really think like how they're fourth year for running it all convention all weekend long.
Yeah, we're
The
good.
volunteers are getting really tired of running it, but we do it anyway because we know you guys like it. Brandon, man.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
So specifically, I had a little bit of a question that I did a couple of events, like the Learn to Plays, that some people showed up for some of them and not for others. So I was a little bit curious if you came in and didn't see anything happening, so you left. If it was something people weren't interested in, if, say, you didn't want to commit to that long of a time slot, would shorter games be better? If you had any feedback in that kind of regard, so I can schedule things for next year.
I think shorter games will probably be a little bit better, so if people miss it, they can actually hop in on the next one instead of big games happening all the time. Or at least have a balance of a big game going on when short games being played.
Okay.
Short games like Monopoly.
this isn't strictly tabletop, but I think what Dave did with Quick Flash was really interesting, setting up custom questions for this convention and like a fandom thing. Man, I felt it was like kind of a lot more interesting than just like your generic improv stuff. The fact it was like
Convention-based
question.
Well, I mean, did you get
So
to
like
play any of
custom
the,
Cards Against Humanity decks that are all anime themed.
well, did you
like
get to
that.
play Cards Against Our Sanity at all?
Okay.
Oh, that's fun. You should definitely get, I played that one, it was a lot of fun.
Okay.
Totally up for you.
Epic was fun.
Oh,
I
yes.
love it. That is a pet project of mine I've been doing for 6 years that my dad and I run, and we got Brandy and Jimmy in on it this last year, so I'm glad you guys really enjoyed it. It was a blast. Thank you.
That's all I have to say.
We'll try to bring that one back, that's, yeah.
Yeah, it was a blast for us as well, so thank you for playing with
Yeah.
us.
Okay. Any other comments? Yes? Or I think over there first and then I'll.
We were sad that there wasn't a hentai night.
Sad that there was.
Hi.
We try to like actually rotate that out, right?
Yeah, we kind of run, usually we kind of alternate between some of there's a couple of people who do WTF panels. We'll do like that one year and then hentai the other year. But the reason we didn't do it this year is we had pub trivia late one night and we had epic late one night. And for hentai, we know we need this room because you perverted people will fill this place up. So we really didn't have the opportunity with both nights with this room filled till late to do that. So we had to kind of do some of the smaller, but still out there stuff when we have the big room filled. But we try to alternate it in every 2 or 3 years or so to get a hentai idea.
It was kind of interesting the one year you had us do it at like 1 in the afternoon.
Yeah. I remember the first year you guys were here, and Sunday morning you came up to me and you said, it was really weird doing the Takahashi Miike panel during church time. In the lights.
Like, before it became Ushicon, before it came 18 plus, they used to like raffles and stuff during the closing ceremony. Do you guys do that anymore, or?
Honestly, we don't have the bandwidth to do that kind of thing anymore. The reason why we're 18 and up only, the reason why we're smaller, and the 18 and up only is, we all have much more busy lives now, and it's, we just, and the budget is not as big as it was when we were bigger. Because that's just kind of scales like that. So.
Thank you. I was just like wondering about that.
The dealer trend, do y'all have the same vendors each year? Is it different each year they rotate? Or?
I typically don't rotate dealers. It just depends on who wants to come back and who doesn't. Okay. So, if the dealer's downstairs, yeah. So if they want to come back, then they'll come back the next year. So usually we'll have at least 1 or 2.
Is there a way we can have someone like in the audience or whatever later on, like have a request for a specific vendor?
Well, not necessarily in that vein, but because vendors always depend on like if they want to do it.
Yeah, if they want to do it, because.
But did you have a? I guess was there a further question to that? Were you looking for something specific, or were you like?
I don't know.
I was just curious if it was like, did you dislike the vendors, or were you like they were okay with them?
I didn't like it. It was just I want to see if there was anything more interested I would be in.
Okay.
What kind of stuff are you more interested in?
Only 3 or 2 animes that I really like. I'm wearing it.
Right.
Okay. Our artists rotate out a little bit more.
Yeah, the artists are by lottery. Thank you. I'm trying to get the word. So the artists do rotate quite a bit every year. So we do that one by lottery. Dealers are a little bit different because we're a much smaller convention, and there are a lot of, once I tell people that, some dealers are like, I'm not sure. They just have to gauge whether it's something that they want to come out and try to do.
Because there's actually
there's a business part of it. Yeah.
There's a fair number of vendors that are in the state of Texas, but at the same point in time, there are a lot of vendors on the convention circuit that are not from Texas, and so basically, like if you were to go to a much larger convention, you may see a bunch of those other vendors that may come from like Virginia or California or something, and at that point, you're talking like the expenses to travel in, the gas, the lodging, all the different things for them to come in. So from their perspective, they need to do much larger sales to justify, moving across the country to do that. So that's why I say that the vendors, we reach out to vendors and we have vendors reach out to us, but there is also a question of like, are they can consider it worth their while, right?
Yeah. But yeah, I wrote that in there, so I've got feedback on that.
But I can also say that if you're interested in stuff, a long time ago, we had panels about this in the past and whatnot, and we can definitely direct you to like, we could do a panel about it again, or we can say on our Facebook, like we can know online places that you can definitely get some cool stuff, or even like, even from like directly from Japan and whatnot, if there's things you're interested in.
Michael, did you have a question?
I want to say I, as usual, enjoyed Brett's Sentai and Tokusatsu programming. I I feel like it's one of the highlights of Ushicon, honestly.
Especially because for most of us, like all this tokusatsu stuff, it's not really like our main fandom. So getting to see like a peek of that is always super interesting.
So, both, that I can't talk. I had two possible recommendations or suggestions for Vitamin H for panels next year. Both of them were because of how much, I didn't even see all of it, but I was blown away with the Ninja panel. I had so much fun listening to them. It was great, but I would love to hear the two of y'all do, or I'm sorry, three.
Well, no, I know, it's just them.
Okay, I'm sorry. I would love to hear y'all do the one on Nodo Otobango. Oh, I'm not saying the name right.
Oda Nobunaga.
Yes. And I would really, really love to hear descriptions of y'all's episodes of the new Doctor. The stuff that we were talking about in that panel was just so entertaining and just fired my imagination to no end. I'd love to hear what you guys would come up with.
Here's the thing.
That would be interesting to do.
We have never watched a single episode of Doctor Who in our lives.
Okay. I watched
Despite the fact that this one is from England.
No, I watched 2, 3, 4, 9, and
Being from
10.
Texas and not having had chili, right?
Yes.
But I will tell you that we have had a panel on the back burner for a long time called Sengoku Samurai, which was going to be a overview of the Sengoku period.
But we'll definitely do more historical stuff, because that's always fun.
It was so entertaining, and you took something that a lot of people make a very dry subject, and you made it a hell of a lot of fun.
Thank you. Let me know if you want some research needs. I had to study that a lot for my degree.
Anything else?
Man, that's awesome.
Oh, you get it?
I would like to say that Vitamin H is awesome.
Okay, Ushicon is awesomer though.
Would you like to come back next year?
I do. So, how many of you took advantage of our programming in the hotel late at night? The video rooms, particularly the video rooms.
I think I have
I actually never said.
But to be fair, I would watch tokusatsu any time of day. So.
That's good to know.
One thing I want to say that I'm going to rip off from a con chair in New Mexico, if this was your first time at Ushicon and you liked it, next year bring as many friends as you can.
Oh, yeah!
If they're cool.
Yeah. Don't bring the friends who are.
If they love anime.
Don't bring the friends who are going to get arrested.
So everybody say Vincent! Vincent!
Are we done?
What?
Get in here!
One more time.
Vincent! So Vincent literally has nothing to do with the con. He's just kind of an arrogant whatever. How do you feel, Vincent?
You know, after last night, extremely horny.
So Vincent was actually in line with the raffle. Vincent actually, we had a giveaway. Was it on Facebook?
It was in partnership with Right Stuff Anime. They provided a lot of prize support to us this year. So that's another shout out for them. 1 minute, please. So we did a contest on Facebook, and you had to enter to win it. And I think it ended January 1st or some odd like that. And so whoever was kind of drawn out of the basket for that got a prize from Right Stuff Anime. And Vincent is the one who won that prize.
And now everyone in this room hates you.
I can live with that.
He wants to do a picture.
What's in it?
It's a swag bag.
Congrats.
It's a bunch of pamphlets. This is bullshit.
Hard to get to humanity tournament. I was hoping to one up that because she was having a hard time
Yes, we had 2 winners. One of them ended up with, I believe 30 cards. The other one is actually JD back there. He was our 2nd place winner who walked away with one of the lovely Steve Jackson plush tentacles.
So one other shout out that I forgot to mention as well. So you know more details on this when we ran this. What day was that on? Saturday. Okay, fine. I'll do it. So on Saturday, all day, one of our rooms was all stuff from High Dive, which is a new online streaming anime service like Crunchyroll or Funimation or something like that. So they gave us an account that we could use for free during this con. And we showed everything, not everything from them obviously, but everything in that room on Saturday was from them, so.
Yeah, if you enjoyed Legend of Galactic Heroes or Sorcerer's Step or Orphan or newer stuff, Anonymous Noise, we ran a bunch of really good shows. Pop Team Epic, we ran from there.
Pop Team Epic?
Yeah.
I still can't believe Legend of Galactic Heroes got licensed here.
I can't believe
Yeah,
that.
so you can watch all that online, highdive.com.
HI or HIDE?
HIDIVE.
Yes, that's good.
That was a great question.
Because, HIDIVE. I can spell.
But yes, after our distraction there for Vincent.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I do want to just kind of reiterate what Vitamin H said here, that if you enjoy the show, definitely tell your friends, unless they're jerks. But no, and you know, we'd like to expand our little community, but you know, we like knowing that we like if you enjoy it, that you would tell your friends, oh yeah, it's a good time. So yeah, I mean that's definitely like what we're looking for. But are you asking a question or are you just flipping?
I just wanted to make a brief comment.
Okay, sure.
This is my 2nd year attending. I used to be a con staffer back in Arizona, 2001 to 2004. So it's been a while.
Staffers.
Huh?
We need more staffers.
Ooh. Right now I am, I'm actually the program monitor for the Meals on Wheels programs for 10 counties, so my day job eats me alive. I actually spent a number of years not attending any anime conventions because that was when I was working for the Walt Disney Company and had no time and no money. So getting back into the anime community, you know, here I am, late 30s, and I'm like, most of the conventions, it's like, oh my God, everyone is beneath half my age. I don't know any of the shows. And then coming to Ushicon, it's like, oh, I just ran into somebody who was cosplaying Tonde Burin. I've never seen someone do that in 20 years. So it's really nice knowing. And my wife is the same way. She couldn't be here today. Chores, laundry, life. Adulting, stuff we have to do. And I'm like, come with me. And she's like, we have to adult. And I'm like, then I shouldn't go either. I'm like, no, you have to go. She's sweet.
Awesome. She's a wonderful.
Yeah, last year we mentioned we had met through Marmalade Boy, so meeting Yoshizumi Wataru like 10 minutes away from our front door was amazing. Bucket list. Check. You guys throw the best show consistently. Now it's been 2 years attending in a row, and this is cumulatively the most fun I've had at anime conventions in the entire time I've been doing this on and off since 1998. So thank you. You guys are awesome.
Well, and I think I've been notified by our events manager that it's time. But yeah, if y'all, like I said, if y'all had a great time, please come back. If you have any other questions, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, email info@ushicon.com or get us on our Facebook page. We answer Facebook page real quick. So thank you.
Y'all are good at that.
Have a great one.
Thank you all. We'll see you next year.